So it's 4 o'clock, and I hope that we have people joining us via Teams. Tucson Message will assist as the city clerk for the city of Tucson. I'm Mayor Regina Romero, and I wanted to call to order. Tucson, do you need to add anything?
Your Honor, we would request that everyone remain muted until you call on them to speak, at which time you will give them 5 minutes to speak, and I will warn them when they have 30 seconds remaining, if that will work for you.
All righty. Do you need individuals to introduce themselves, or that's not necessary?
That's not necessary. We have them listed in Teams, so we know who's on.
Okay, perfect. So this public hearing is being held in accordance with Chapter 7, Section 2 of the Tucson City Charter. All employees should have received a notice of this hearing and the recommendation for the employee compensation plan for fiscal year 2021. The purpose of this hearing is to provide an opportunity for interested parties to discuss the proposed plan. The deadline to file disputes is 5 p.m. today in the city clerk's office. You need not speak. However, if you wish to do so, you may. We do have individuals requesting to speak. When I call your name, please make sure that you unmute your microphone, state your name, classification, and your department. If you are representing a group of employees, please also identify that group that you are representing. I also ask that each speaker limit their presentation to 5 minutes. I did want to start the meeting by first recognizing all of the hard work and commitment of each and every one of our city employees, communication workers, environmental and sanitation workers, police and fire, 911 operators, transit, parks and rec, housing, every single person that makes our city run. During trying times such as these, all of us are put to the test, including myself. Our employees have proven once again their commitment to serving the residents of Tucson with integrity and professionalism and dedication to their work. 3 months ago, our economy was booming. We now face a much starker reality. So let's listen from the speakers. And again, I ask that you introduce yourself, say your name, classification, your department, and the group that you are representing. So with that, is there anyone wishing to speak?
Your Honor, we've been advised that Jonathan Schlecht from AFSCME would like to speak.
Alrighty, Jonathan.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, Jonathan.
We registered and this is Jonathan Schlecht. I'm president of AFSCME, chief steward for the city. We originally signed up to protest our lack of being recognized monetarily. Since then, we didn't file a protest and would like to thank the mayor for sending the Mr. Ortega back. He gave us time to then sit back down at the table, and I think we have something worked out. So I just want to thank you for your hard work and for backing our workers.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. Any others?
Your Honor, Tony Archibald from TPOA requested to take part. I'm not sure if he wants to speak.
Tony, would you like to speak today?
Yes, Madam Mayor, thank you very much. My name is Tony Archibald. I'm a police sergeant in the Tucson Police Department, and I'm the president of the Tucson Police Officers Association, representing over 700 members of our police department. The TPOA is respectfully disputing today's proposed compensation plan, and it's based on this and this alone. We fully recognize that right now the outlook is bleak. We understand that we may be faced as a city with some tough decisions about personnel, and so we want to make it clear at this point, we're not disputing based on a monetary situation. We're disputing based on closing the conversation. Ultimately, what we believe is that the city should keep an open mind, city staff should keep an open mind, that while we're estimating that things are going to get bad as we come out of the COVID-19 crisis, it's just best guesses at this point, and nobody knows truly what will happen as we come out of this. The economy could rebound quickly, the economy could surplus quickly, and we simply do not know. We know that revenues will be down over the time that businesses throughout the city were closed, but we don't truly know the actual impact of that as of this moment. What the TPOA would like you, Madam Mayor, and the city staff to consider is leaving the door open for further talks as we start to get more information about the impact that's happened. And we ask that the market comparisons that were being conducted continue. We think that it's important that those market comparisons continue because obviously we're going to have an opportunity to see what our fellow cities are doing at the end of this crisis as well. And so we would really like the idea of knowing how we compare even coming out of the crisis as city workers. I feel like if we wait until the end of this coming fiscal year to get into those conversations, it may be too late. And we may, as a city, have rebounded completely and be back on track for the surplus that the manager had projected in his initial budget conversations that he had with you several months ago. That is the extent of what we're asking from the dispute process. Again, we don't want it to be adversarial. We just want to continue the conversation as we get more data and more information moving forward. And with that, I'll yield my time. Thank you for hearing me.
Thank you, Tony. I'm just processing, Tony, what you just brought to us. I know that there's great uncertainty to the duration of the current pandemic and economic crisis. I recognize that we are not currently in any position to discuss permanent wage adjustments, but I agree that we should not preclude ourselves from having ongoing discussions. I believe that I think that this economic crisis is going to be ongoing, but that conversations in terms of employee compensation or market reviews should continue. One of the items that I have been, or the issues that I've worked on as a council member, now as mayor, that I've been proudest of have been those times when we have been able to compensate our employees their fair due. And so I agree with you and TPOA and AFSCME and other labor groups that want to at least continue the discussion. Right now, the city of Tucson is not in a financial position to discuss permanent wage increases. But again, I agree we should not shut the door on continuing discussions and conversations or seize any market studies that we have started. So I don't know, Suzanne, if I was supposed to respond to the speaker, but I felt the need to make this statement at the beginning for the benefit of those hearing, and if they had the same concerns that I think everyone on the call should hear my thoughts on this.
Yes, ma'am.
Suzanne, do you have any other names listed that would like to speak?
No, Madam Mayor, we have not been given any other names. There are a few other people on who may ask to be recognized, but we haven't received any requests to speak.
Is there anyone else on this call wishing to speak?
Mayor, this is City Attorney Mike Rankin.
Yes, sir.
Mayor, I would just point out in response to the comments just made is that to assure not just the speaker, but everybody else who's participating in the hearing that the adoption of the compensation plan, even if it's adopted as currently recommended to the mayor and council, does not preclude any adjustments to the compensation plan during the course of the fiscal year. So it certainly would not preclude not only changes to the compensation plan as we deal with our new reality, but it certainly also doesn't preclude any ongoing conversations with the employees, including the recognized labor organizations, but not limited to the labor organizations, including all of the employees. And I'm certain that the city manager's office will be in regular discussions with all of the labor groups as we navigate these next 4, 6, and 12 months.
Mr. Attorney,
Yes, ma'am.
my question is, the memorandum to mayor and council and the city manager on the annual compensation plan recommendation is very absolute when it comes to the language on the memo. It says very clearly that the city of Tucson's market posture will become unknown until the economy stabilizes and will therefore be suspending all market review until 2022 at the earliest. Is there a possibility of reviewing that language so that it is not absolute and that it indicates just what you told us?
Mayor, this is Mike. I'd be happy to do that. Mike, I'll just answer that. Happy to do that. And the intent is conformance with the charter requires that I make a recommendation. That is my recommendation for the council to consider. But as Mr. Rankin outlined, it does not preclude us from having conversation and ongoing dialogue, which was alluded to by Mr. Schlecht as well.
So, Mr. City Manager, can we change that language to reflect the reality of of this conversation that we're having now that we'd like to have, as opposed to being so absolute? Can we change that language to say that conversations will be ongoing with labor groups?
Mayor, I'm happy to make that change. I don't want to mislead anyone into thinking that it will lead to something other than a review. But I am happy to look at that, and I'll work on a recommendation that gives us that flexibility so it's clear to not only the labor groups but also to the council that this can be an ongoing discussion and dialogue.
Thank you, Mr. City Manager. I appreciate that that change.
You're welcome.
Any further discussion? Okay, then with that, I'd like to close this public hearing. Dispute forms may be submitted until 5 p.m. today by emailing cityclerk@tucsonaz.gov. All disputes will be referred to the city manager for further action and review.
Thank you, Mayor.
With that, we adjourn.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, everyone. Take care and have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.